Good evening. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm about to give a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sure it's going to be especially unpopular amongst women.
I'm Gray Mars. Break a record by being with 100 men in one day. And right after she was done, she recorded a documentary.
I'm a vegan weed. Call yourself fresh and wear the same weak ass turtleneck on every show. Goddamn. Then we got goddamn the Sudanese Sambo. Bruh, man.
And I'm Enzo. Bringing up in my lives is they're like, oh well, he's violating the Constitution by having a meme coin and him making money off it in office and everything like that. I was like, if that was the case, like there would be lawsuits up the ass and impeachment inquiry.
I'm skeptic. Like I always say, don't let anybody trample on your constitutional rights.
I'm Mia. That's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed.
The government, states, they start putting these RICO acts on Diddy, all of these guys, and try to put it on these ongoing criminal organizations. I ain't never seen the government put a RICO act on the KKK.
Switch happened. Come on, man. You gotta acknowledge this. This is the problem that I have with elders like you, because you fail to acknowledge that this stuff has happened.
If we sit there and be old school, we gonna miss the boat. You know, a lot of this kids 19 years old buying houses with Bitcoin, buying Maserati.
Wow.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Described him as one of the most dangerous men on the face of the earth.
Welcome to the Man Cave. Welcome to the Man Cave. I'm your host, Gray Mars. Heaven.
I'm Heaven.
And we have a special guest, Jared. Jared's actually a comedian. He was supposed to come on here with us before, but he was on tour. Jared, you want to introduce yourself and tell people where they can find you?
Sure. I'm Jared Berenstein. You can check out all my stuff at jaredberenstein.com. I'm streaming every weekday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time.
For sure. So before we get into the topic, I've got some other videos for you guys to give your take on. So there's this guy, he's being convicted of murder, and his father testified against him today. So I want you guys to see. Father is kind of emotional and get you guys' take on it.
Yes. Who is the person that was captured on the video recording shooting Charles McCormick? My son. What's your son's name?
Hakeem.
So the father here, he's actually the father of like a famous rapper, and pretty much basically they were caught on camera, and then they got the father into the interrogation room and told the father, like, if you don't, turn on your son, we're basically going to give you a long sentence. Heaven, are you familiar with who Kesu is?
I'm not.
Okay. So what do you think about the father testifying against his son? Do you feel like he should have because his son, or how do you feel?
Did he actually verify that that's his son? Because
Yeah, that's his son.
I mean, from the image that they showed with the story, just from me looking at it, I'm kind of like, that looks like somebody running away with jeans and a hoodie and from the back. So I didn't see a face or anything in the picture. So I didn't know.
Oh, you said they sure that that's
more
his son.
context.
Yeah,
More context around the
they did like a 3D image to try to see if that's his son's body, but he had a face mask on. Then they like ran into somebody's house, but they did get away. But so it's more information coming out. Jared, I don't know if you know who this guy is, but what do you think about the father testifying against the son?
I mean, like, this is the first I've been hearing about any of this stuff. You said that they had a plea bargain for the dad to testify against the son, like they were going to throw the dad in jail if he wouldn't testify against the son.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't know anything about this case. That sounds a little illegal to me. Like, I don't know what they had on the dad, but in order if they are extorting him to testify against his son on trumped up charges, then that's fucked up. But again, I'm getting just the bare bones of this case here.
Right, Doc. So I know you know who he is. How you feel about it?
We talking about Queso?
Yeah.
Man, I think Queso daddy is a bitch. He a straight bitch. And I'll tell you why he a bitch. So even though he testified on his son, his dad was in a car with his other brother and some of his cousins. Somebody comes, Queso's not in the car. Somebody comes and shoot the car up, shoot his dad, kill his brother, kill his cousin, wound everybody else in the car. And what they saying Queso did is in retaliation to that. So he went out here and for his brother and his daddy, you know what I'm saying? And the dude was supposed to be one of the people who, you know what I'm saying, had something to do with that. He went out here and he, took care of whatever business he had to take care of. That's what they said, you know what I mean? That's what the street saying. To get up there and tell your son after he out here, you know what I'm saying, willing to put his life on the line for you is just a whole move. You know what I'm saying? So like, everybody said it ain't like his daddy been no straight and narrow person. Like Boosie even got online and was saying how, his daddy been in the streets for years. He been a street dude. He been subscribed to these rules in his lifestyle. And if he had been a lawyer or some upstanding citizen going to Wendy's every day, clocking in, flipping burgers, I might have gave him a break. But when you say you in that lifestyle and your son go out here to, protect and stand up for the family, I think that's just bad. Do I think that's the way they should do it? No, I think they should tell law enforcement, get law enforcement involved and do it the correct way. But if you saying you're not going to subscribe to that, you can't then turn around and tell on your son.
Yeah, and you're right. So I want to play what Boosie did say, so if people don't know who he is, about the son, and he talked about the dad being in the streets, and like, so why is he judging the son?
Well, there's another case that you commented on recently, and that was the K-Sue situation. So, from what I understand, K-Sue was allegedly involved in a murder. And they're saying that he met up with his father afterwards, and now his father is being accused of murder, being accomplice to murder after the fact.
Yeah.
So now the father is having to testify, choosing to testify against the son, or else the father is facing 30 years over something that he didn't actually do.
Yeah.
This is a very dicey kind of situation. You're completely against it, though.
Yeah.
So if your child came to you and said, "Dad, I just killed somebody. I need you to help me."
You gotta understand, Queso dad been killing. Like, this nigga been like that. You ain't fucking with this nigga wasn't working at no car shop. Like, they burnt his fucking car shop up. My cousin lost his car in his fucking car shop.
Okay, I don't know the story about the dad. Okay, so the dad was
like the dad ain't no fucking. You think this a camp coach? Queso dad is a fucking, like, he like that.
Okay.
Like, he's fucking like that. He been like that.
That's why he's
like, this dude ain't no bitch ass nigga.
Okay.
I ain't have nothing against Queso. I knew Queso dad from my cousin working a Queso dad work on his cars.
Okay.
Like Queso Dad been like, he ain't no bitch ass nigga. Queso Dad ain't no like, niggas know Queso Dad in Duval. Like, nigga, like, you led him wrong too. You led him wrong. You know, we gotta start blaming ourselves as parents. We led these fucking children wrong most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, like, bro, like, you make these people do their fucking job. You don't bend over and get fucked by these people. You make these people do their job. That's why they get hired. You don't do their job for them against your son. It doesn't go like that. I don't give a damn. If you murder somebody, it's not to be caught for murdering somebody, it's to get away. It's not to be caught. No matter how bad it's not for them to be caught. It's for you to get away. Well, and by telling your ass is not gonna get away.
Okay, so his dad made a statement about this publicly.
I heard his statement. I want his I won't write him in jail. So whoever watching this, send me that nigga address, man. I won't write him and talk to him. I want to make them people do their job. They're laughing at you over beer and shots right now. We're making that motherfucker turn on his own seed. He's turning on his own boy. Then they're going to kill his ass when he go back there and we let him out. You know what we're going to do? We're going to make him testify and let his ass out after and give him credit for time served and let Queso Boy smoke his ass. 2 birds and 1 stone.
I have now seen the Boosie white racist impression.
2 birds and 1 stone. Both of you
first time in all these
I done got you to kill your son and let you out for his son's niggas to kill you. Now we're going to try them for murder. 3 strikes, y'all. That's what the games they play against us.
So if your own son got you caught up in a murder that he committed, you would do 30 years over your child?
If they convict me, yes. If we don't talk, they what? What the fuck? Make them do their job. If we fucked up, we fucked up. God gonna make us pay for our sins.
I mean, what would you really do in a situation like that? Your own son just came to you and said, "Dad, I fucked up. I need you to help me."
I'm gonna help him in any way I can.
Even though at this point you're now implicating yourself in a murder.
Any way possible. Because as dads, we gotta understand, it's about them kids.
Yeah.
And once you're 40, 50, 60 years, nigga, you done live your life. You ain't gonna be shit else.
You want to hear something interesting?
You done live your life. Try to say them and your grandkids, nigga. Because your grandkids gonna hate you. They gonna hate you, nigga. All your grandkids hate you. They gonna fuck over grandpa. Don't go to sleep around them. And have no medication around them. They gonna fuck over you. You gotta think about you done live 50 years. What the fuck you gonna do in the next 15?
So Queso dad said it was his health and like, you know, he didn't feel like he did anything. Jamar, I know you was having some issues with your internet. I see you working good. I don't know if you know about the Queso situation, but the father basically testified against the son to reduce his prison sentence and, you know, to basically stay out of prison. How do you feel about that?
I wouldn't personally do it. I mean, I wouldn't personally do it. I really try not to figure out why some people do what they do. But as far as morally, that would be, you know, how somebody else take it. I personally just wouldn't do it. It's kind of like what Boosie just said. You know, you got 50 years on the planet. You got to think about your grandkids now and hope that your son, you know, changes life. That's the best you could look for. But now I wouldn't sit up there and do their job for them. I would make them do their job.
For sure. So when Gucci was in jail, his girl made money for him. So we're talking about people being in jail. Is it good when you have somebody that's taking care of you? Because a lot of these guys go to jail and the girl immediately leaves. So she ended up making money for him. So I want y'all to see this clip.
He went away for those 3 years. That he gave you his money and you flipped it. Yeah. Can you confirm whether or not that happened and what is the real story?
It did happen, and at first he was like, "I got some money, I need you to take it." And I said, I don't want your money. He was like, "You got to take it." I said, "I don't want to be responsible. God forbid something happens to it. I don't know. It took me a year to take it. So I finally took it because I'm like, you know what? I need to help him. Because I didn't know if he was going to get 20 years or what the situation was. So I didn't want to be responsible for this guy's money, right? So after a year, I took it, I invested it, saved everything.
How much did he give you?
$2 million.
Okay.
And then we would talk 3-4 times a day. Like, we honestly, prison did our relationship good. We talked 3-4 times a day. We were so close. We worked out on the same schedule. So let's say we worked out 10 to 12. I knew by 1 he shot where he calls, I'm available. So we had a real schedule that kind of helped his time go by. And he was like, I'm going to marry you when I get home. I was like, no, you're not. I don't believe you. For real, I don't.
You didn't believe him?
No, I don't. I was like, you know, just show me. But everything he said, he meant. He would write his raps, send them to me. Sometimes he was still angry at the world and who he's going to hurt. And I was like, we're not doing that. Get your mind right and focus. If you want to get out of this place, you have to change your way of thinking. You're not coming out to hurt anyone. I said, don't even focus on me. Focus on your career. And then me second. Don't focus on me. Focus on your business, pay your taxes, get everything in order, and I will deal with you after that. And that's because I'm like, I'm not going to play these games. That's what I mean by I'm stern. You know, I'm very like, I'm not going to curse at you and yell. I'm just going to speak to you with intelligence and what's right. And everything I said to him, he did. He did it.
What did you do with that $2 million? Did you invest it in real estate? Did you stock market?
I did multiple things, like stock market, CDs, many different things. And he told me, he was like, once I started making all the money, he was like, you can take $1 million. I said, no, I don't want $1. I said, I got it. I said, right now we don't know how much time you're facing, so let's put all your money up. My business is booming. I'm doing appearances. I'll take care of all of it. He's like, please take the money. I said, I don't want it. I'm not touching your money. I put everything away for him. I didn't take $1.
Well, he gave you $2 million when he got in. When he got out, how much did he come home to?
6. I gave him back 6.
You flipped $2 million into 6?
I did.
Heaven, it's mostly men that go to prison. Do you feel like women should stay with men when they go do prison time, or you feel like they should break up?
I think that they should. They should hold it down. Absolutely. Growing up, even I've had multiple friends that have been in and out of prison. And even as a friend, they'd reach out to me during those times and write me letters, and I'd write back, and they'd call. And I understand that when you're under those conditions, that it is mentally a lot. And having any type of normal conversation is really important for the mental and emotional well-being of them as people.
For sure. Jamar, I saw your TikTok. You talk a lot about prison and stuff like that. How do you feel about people supporting people in jail? And like, do you feel like it's a necessity?
Yeah, so the support in prison is going to be based on the person you was on the streets, right? If you was a piece of garbage on the street, nobody's going to support you. And and if you're moving around in the streets and you catch a case, you shouldn't put nobody under any obligation to support you in prison. You know, you did the crime, you're about to go do the time. If they support you, great. If they don't, you got to make your way. So shouldn't nobody be under an obligation? And it's going to be based off the individual that you were when you were moving around out there in the streets.
For sure. Well, Jared, you basically a comedian, you're on tour, stuff like that. You feel like you can trust women with money, that type of money like that?
Absolutely, man. You know, my wife and I, we share a bank account. I make money on the road. That shit goes right to the bank account. And then, you know, also she makes more money than me. So it's not like a ton of trust that I'm putting into her, you know, like she get a couple of my dollars, and then I get to come home and live rent free. So, you know, not too worried about that. Yeah, that's just, you know, you got a good relationship. You got to be able to trust each other with that sort of thing.
For sure. Doc, how you feel? Like the women should hold it down, or you just want to be up the road and just say, forget about family, forget about women? How you feel?
Man, I think a lot of things go into that, and it's complex. You know what I'm saying? I think if you go and you facing something that could be potentially your whole life, you can't really blame nobody for, you know, chucking you the deuces and, you know, moving on with their life. Because the biggest thing is, even when I was young and I was wilding, everybody will give you advice and you don't want to listen to it. So I can't spend all my time not taking this advice, not listening to these people. And then I realize once I touch the stove that it's hot, you know what I'm saying, and I burn my hand, I don't want them to, you know what I'm saying? So that's just, I think that's just part of it, you know what I mean? But I think a lot of things was, some people make mistakes, but if you on a constant mistake path, and you know, I got some friends that's constant mistakes. You know, they can't put two, you know, steps forward together. So you know what I mean? Like it just become an endless, it could become an endless money pit too. And people got a lot of responsibilities on the outside. And people who are on the inside sometimes they don't understand it. But I mean, it's a tough situation.
So yeah, and the reason we talking about jail and everything, it's been a big video going around where, you know, some black guys attacks a white couple, so it's going viral. So I want to get y'all reactions to it. Parental advisory, you know, just so you know that I'm gonna play this.
Hey, these niggas is funny playing the Russians.
Oh yeah, sleep him, yup. Get him up out of here. Get him up out of here.
They didn't play the whole video, but I don't know if you guys seen it, but Doc, how do you feel? Because like with this video, it's basically been them making it all about race. Do you feel like, you know, it was a hate crime, or do you feel like this just happened, you know, people drinking? How do you feel?
Nah, I mean that's just people drinking. You feel me? It just so it looked bad with the optics of it, but I think, you know what I'm saying, it was an opportunity for him to walk away right there. Somebody stepped in between and said, "Hey, you know, y'all watch out." You know what I'm saying? But at some point, every man felt like they tough and they King Kong. You know what I'm saying? And you reach your hand over here, and you put your hand in my face. Of course, me and my homeboys gonna pack you out, and we're not gonna feel bad about it.
For sure. So this is the actual full video. I'm gonna get you guys to react to it. That one just play a portion of it.
Goody, no, Goody, don't do that. Goody, there we go, Goody.
So, Heaven, you're very liberal and you're white, and a lot of the conservatives are saying is that white people are under attack. Do you feel like seeing that white people are under attack?
I think it's funny that you think I'm liberal.
Well, I mean, you sometimes you say left wing stuff.
I just believe in humanity. I don't like the left or the right. They both ridiculous. I don't think white people are under attack. I think it looked to me like people were about to fight, square up, one-on-one. Somebody got in the middle of it. I don't know what happened. Next thing you know, they fighting. And look, when you get I've gotten jumped. I didn't feel like I was under attack. I mean, technically I was, but
that was never going to be one-on-one though.
Jared, same question.
Well, but look, but then it gets to a point, you know? It gets to a point.
Listen, a conservative watching that video saying that that's some sort of like white people under attack thing when that white dude was squaring up and just like super disrespectfully like slap that dude in the face like that's insane. That is the most, I mean, but that's the kind of rage baiting that happens on the right. You know, like you got a video here of a dude getting his ass kicked for trying to get his ass kicked. And then they're going like, "Oh my God, these white people are under attack everywhere." It's just like, no, these are people who got into a fight, you know, regardless.
For sure. What about you, Jamar?
Yeah, that just looked like something regular. Some people out drinking. The white guy was feeling himself, right? And he just took it to the next level. And he just got, it wasn't, I don't think that had anything to do with any type of race. Like if it was race, they would have just did it just for somebody trying to intervene. But like he said, the race baiting and the fact that we have to feel under attack to get everybody going. It's not something new. Like that's been going on for a long time. So, but that right there wasn't about race.
Right.
And I think it's safe to say too, though, like to say that it's about race. It's a black man who steps in between them in the beginning to break up the fight. You know what I mean? And if you look, it's black men trying to pull him off of him, and you know what I'm saying? Because you know, even though when these kind of activities happen, if it's your homeboy or something, you see it going too far, you know that somebody could get hurt. But I ain't gonna front, we'd have stomped you to sleep. You slapped me in my face like that. It would have been no what. Some of them were still conscious. It would have never, ever be. Everybody would have had to be unconscious.
Right. I just want to play what the cops said for the audience, and they didn't classify it as a hate crime.
At this time, we have victims and suspects identified, and we have charged 5 people in this offense. I'm not going to release that information to you. I will say, if individuals were down there and participated in this event, it would be in their best interest to come turn themselves in at one of our police districts. We have 5 we have charged and anticipate more. Let me be clear. Anyone who put their hands on another individual during this incident in an attempt to cause harm will face consequences. I don't care which side of the incident or the fight they were on. If they place their hands on somebody in an attempt to cause harm, that is unacceptable. This is still an open investigation, and all potential charges are being investigated for everyone involved. All investigative tools and techniques are on the table, including, were some of these individuals overserved at some local establishments? It is clear to us that alcohol played a significant part in this incident. I want to thank every citizen who has come forward and provided us with information. Some of those tips have led to the charges being signed. However, for us to have 100 or so people down there involved in and or watching this event, recording with their cell phones, and for us to get only 1 phone call of this incident is unacceptable in this city. 1 person did the right thing and called 911.
Well, I actually agree with her on this one as far as like, I feel like as a society now, we just are entertained by stuff instead of us actually, you know, doing what's right. But I want to get into, you know, the main stuff that we're talking about. So I don't know if you guys have seen like the white only town, but I'm gonna play it if you haven't seen it. It's been pretty much going viral.
Blacks, no Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z, and this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, you know, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even if...
Well, I mean, you don't let everyone into your home.
Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And while the men do the physical labour, the women take care of the children who live here full time.
It can be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do.
You might be wondering how any of this can be legal. Return to the Land is structured as a private members association, which they believe allows them to discriminate on the basis of ethnicity, along with other factors. That has yet to be tested in the courts and may well fail. The Arkansas Attorney General has said his office is now reviewing the matter as a result of our reporting, and that there is no room for racial discrimination in Arkansas or anywhere in a free society.
Doc, you're from the Deep South. How do you feel about, you know, a white-only town? Like, do you feel like it's going to spread? Do you feel like it's a threat? How do you feel?
I think for sure it's gonna spread, but I think it's just a light being cast on this. I think it's been white-only towns in the South for a long time. Like ever since I grew up as a kid, we kind of grew up knowing, you know, this is someplace you don't stop for gas. If you're on the highway and you right here, you just break down. You know what I'm saying? Rather than going into town. So that's just a reality of growing up in the South. You got to learn that and be able to navigate that type of interaction with people. But I mean, they want to go out there and be huddled up together in the middle of the Ozarks. I don't want to move to the Ozarks. So y'all have fun out there with them. And they chicks wasn't even bad. So I for sure don't want to go out there and get none of them. So you know what I'm saying? I hope they enjoy themselves out there. It's a lot of mosquitoes in the Ozarks.
I only know about Ozark from Netflix. Jared,
that's it.
How do you feel about the white-only towns?
It's just so fucking stupid. Can I curse here? I forgot to ask, but it's just so fucking stupid to somehow, and I know exactly how this happened. Like, I know that this is all because everybody in our society is plugged into these propaganda machines, and there is a ton of misinformation out there convincing certain groups of people that this is necessary, that, oh my God, your white culture is completely under attack by brown people and Jewish people and gays, etc. So in order to preserve your culture of Americanness, it's just so fucking dumb and unnecessary. And yes, it 100% is a symptom that we need to keep a look at. I don't know how worried I am about this one specific compound here, but you know, this culture of telling people that this is necessary is it is something that needs to be tamped down and fought at every place. And can I just say one thing? They're trying to keep gay people out of this area, but if they're having kids, there's gonna be gays there eventually. Like, they will fail in that regard. And you
gotta cast the children out, Jared. You gotta cast the children out.
You gotta
disown them.
Enjoyment from knowing that give me one new generation in that compound, there's gonna be some gays. So congratulations, you idiots. Just pisses me off.
I'm gonna play a video that I want Jamar and Heaven to react to, so I'm gonna play this one.
You hear that? That is the sound of freedom.
Feels really amazing. I cry every time I come here.
Why were these two women interested in the prospect of buying a town in the first place?
We needed to create a space and a place where we could be a village again, a tribe again.
So Renee and Ashley reached out to family and friends, and together they bought what they intend to name Freedom, Georgia, a new black city. The owners hosted the Big Black Campout over Labor Day weekend. Supporters drove in from across the country.
That is our vision, and to be able to pass this land down to my children and to the children that are represented by each of our 19 families as a piece of legacy. We're hoping to create legacy.
So Jamar, this is a video that conservatives and that group is using, saying that, well, you know, black people are able to do it, so why can't we do it? So do you feel like it's watching that video that it's unfair that they shouldn't be doing it at all as well?
So you see the big difference. You never heard them mention who couldn't come, right? They said we buying the land for our family, we want to be together, but they never said who was excluded. They never excluded anybody. And me knowing black people, like he said about gays, you give it a month or two, it's going to be some white people in there because, hey, man, that's just how we are. We inclusive. A nice white family come and say, hey, you don't mind if we move? They'll let them in. But to be exact about it, they never excluded anybody. But I'm not tripping about the other people in the Ozark either. Like, it's really not a big deal. It's really not. I think if you want to live around people who share your same ideology, right, it's nothing wrong with that. Because at the end of the day, if you don't want us here, I don't want to be there, right? So why, all right, for example, why make America all exclusive when we all not really welcomed here? Because that's the reality of America. We all not really welcomed there. It sounds like we welcome, but we really not. But to stick to your point, the black people never said nobody was excluded.
For sure. Heaven, are you moving to a white only town?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think the white only town shows the fascist swing that we are mind-bogglingly going into as a nation. And on the other hand, I believe in reparations. I think that there's some land already owed to Black families. So I think that's a beautiful thing. And yeah, they didn't say they were keeping anybody out. They said this is for legacy.
For sure. So,
But the other one, when you start something with hate and what is white culture? Just, can we clear that up too? That's what I want to know. Because are we talking about Irish white people, but they weren't always included? Or are we talking about German white people? They don't believe that Jews are included. I watched a couple videos from the group.
well, I watched that whole video, and the guy who's interviewing him, he's from London. And so he asked him, he said, you know, I'm liberal and, you know, from London. Would I be allowed to like come here? And the guy said yes. So I don't know if that was like, you know, he was just saying it for the camera because he seemed kind of nervous, or if he's what it's really based on. But one of the guys that lived there, the youngest guy,
Because he's European. But
yeah,
Jewish is not considered, according to them, a white.
Yeah, that's not acceptable.
Closer
We're not
to
allowed.
Middle Eastern. Exactly. That's not. I saw another. It was a different interview. And the guy was Jewish. He said you can apply, but you know that doesn't mean you're gonna be able to. And we're not, you know, pure. You don't have to be pure white, but you know. So
Man, give them
basically,
a year
you
or
know.
two, and this should be Waco. We'll have a Netflix documentary about this shit. The SWAT team will be in there kicking it down. little girls will be trying to escape from the cult leaders. You know what I'm saying? And they'll have a tell-all documentary about how I wanted to leave the Ozarks and they wouldn't let me. They gave about a year or two.
Do you mind if I make a point really quick about the difference between these two settlements here?
Yeah.
I think that there is a difference between the powerful group in a community, in a country, creating an exclusive space that they are keeping people out of, than a marginalized group creating a space where they can feel safe. I think that there's a difference between those two things. And so, people on the right want to say that that's, a double standard. Well, it's different. I think it's different situations. It's apples and oranges.
For sure. I completely agree. So Doc sent me this. And so if we don't remember history, history repeats itself. And I believe this is Marjorie Taylor Greene's district, but Oprah actually went to this all-white town back in the 90s.
In 1987, the Oprah show had only been on the air for 5 months. Trouble was brewing in the Deep South, in a county where no black person had lived in 75 years. For the first time, Oprah left her studio and headed straight into the eye of the storm.
We bring you today to Forsyth County, Georgia, just 30 miles north of Atlanta, which in the past few weeks has gained the reputation of being a hotbed of racism. Here are just some of the images of Forsyth County in past weeks that were broadcast around the globe.
There's no niggers here. Why should they even come, They asked for it. They got it, so why'd they come back,
It's hard to believe that this show aired nearly 30 years ago. Oprah's show in Forsyth was causing an uproar. As protests were going on outside, tempers were heating up inside too.
Somebody tell me, where did the people who come from who were shouting, "Nigger, go home"? They came from where?
Yes, ma'am. They came from, my name's Frank Shirley. I'm the head of the committee to keep Forsyth and Dawson County white.
Let him speak. Please let him speak. He has the right to speak.
Okay, the news media is covered up. There were thousands of white people that came out to join our white people's protest. This is the largest white people's protest against communism and race mixing in the last 30 years. The news media has deliberately covered up the nature of the Brotherhood marchers, many of whom are outright communists and homosexuals, and our organization was the only one that dared take a stand against them. They brought in
So you're not just anti-black, you're also anti-gay too.
I'm opposed to communism, race mixing, and low morals, and homosexuals are of low morals, in my opinion.
You don't believe that people of other races have the right to live here?
They have the right to live wherever they want to, but we have the right to choose if we want a white community also. That's why we moved here.
You believe? That's what you believe. Excuse me. Why is it that there are people in this county, obviously, who are afraid of black people? What is it you are afraid black people are going to do? I mean, that's what I'd like to know.
I'm afraid of them coming to Forsyth County. I lived in Atlanta. I was born in Atlanta. And in 1963, the first blacks were bused to West Fulton High School. And I go down there now and I see my neighborhood and my community, which was a nice community, a nice neighborhood, and now it's nothing but a rat-infested slum area because they don't care. They don't care. Thank you.
No, wait, stand up. You know. Do you mean they, us, the entire black race? The entire black race?
Blacks and you have niggers.
What's the difference between a black person and a nigger to you?
I've talked to black people. Black people, they don't want to come up here. They don't want to cause any trouble. That's a black person. A nigger wants to come up here and cause trouble all the time. That's the difference.
I have something to say.
I'm very upset about what's going on. I don't think that Forsyth County has been portrayed right. It's not only by what's outside right now, but I just really hate to think that it's going to take someone either black or white getting hurt or losing their lives before people can sit down and talk this out. It is a time for change. There's nothing we can do about it. Everybody, there's one God. And I just hate to think that someone is going to get hurt before the people get some sense about them and talk about this and get it like it's supposed to be.
How is it supposed to be?
Black and white together in Forsyth County. There's no other way.
Oprah says she and her producers knew it was dangerous to go down there, but they were smart enough to know to leave town before the sun went down.
So I gotta give that clip credit to Doc. Doc, thank you for sending me that. That tied well in with the title is that Sundown 2.0. And I know you're from Savannah, so I don't know how far that is from you. Like, is this how it is down there? Like your family, like, I mean, I'm from Valdosta, Georgia, so I've seen like black and white people that really hang out. Wasn't how I went to high school in Florida, where I really like came around like a bunch of culture. So how do you feel about seeing Forsyth, Georgia on there?
I guess if you think about it and you look on the internet or something like that might be shocking. But I mean, I grew up like that. So it ain't really that shocking to me. It's still like that in a lot of cities and in a lot of places. And I say, you got to know, you just got to be smart. But, you know, my family from here, my grandma, my grandpa, they all from these small cities and they traveled these back roads and my dad drove. So I kind of grew up learning that you can't go certain places or you can go, you know, but, you know, the police department is racist, you know, the sheriff, everybody in the town, you know what I'm saying? And it's just a gamble. You got to be safe, but that's just how it is. You know, I don't have no plans on moving to Forsyth, Georgia, or any of these, you know, small communities that they move to that they don't want you to be in. Like, so it's just a thing about being careful. So, you know, but like, one of those things is like, I'm from Savannah, but a guy named Ahmaud Arbery a couple years ago was chased down and killed by some guys, and it took for the video to be released over a year later for them to even be charged because the dad and the son and the friend, they were all, you know, friends with the police and the district attorney in that county, and they never wanted to press charges, and they outright ran him down and killed him. You know, you can go look into the story of Ahmaud Arbery. And it took a year, and it took the internet getting that video, somebody, a whistleblower, putting that information out there. But that's just a normal thing growing up in the Deep South. You got to be ready.
Jamar, I don't want to age you, but I mean that was in the 1987. So, like, do you feel like, you know, things have changed in 2025, or do you feel like it's the same?
Things have changed, right? But they're still the same, if that makes sense. Right, things have changed. They're just in the dark now. Like he just talked about the Ahmaud Arbery case. It took over a year, so things have changed, but they haven't changed. I would like things to change. You know, my biggest issue with all of this, with those type of places, is that as a people, as Black people, it reaches a point when do we say, as Black men, when do we say, okay, I'm kind of tired of the woofing? Like, I can meet you where I can match your energy, right? I can meet you in Forsyth County. You got 100, 200 white men screaming nigger. I could meet you there screaming cracker and see exactly how you want to play it out. Because how I think about it is, that's the only reason why you do it. You do it because we don't push back. You do it because it don't matter if your sheriff is racist or whatever. You do it because we don't push back. And I just feel like that energy is changing. And I just hope when it changes, that Black men and women are not going to be looked at as the villains.
For sure. Jared, do you feel like things have changed now, or do you feel like, you know, it's still racist? How do you feel?
You know, I think that we have a better understanding of these sort of like deep fissures of racism and homophobia and misogyny that we have in this country. And I think it's because of the progress that we've had with things like the election of Barack Obama and, you know, more women being present in STEM and college and at higher echelons of the workplace, that we're seeing this like violent reaction to it. And, you know, if we are smart and unified, then, and we can continue the progress that we have just been slowly building for decades, then this will be sort of like the last gasps of a terrible culture. But we have to do the work to make sure that that doesn't happen, because there are people who are very powerful who want these ideologies to spread, you know, and those guys building that new white only town, like I believe, I could be wrong about this, but like that one dude at the Oprah segment who was saying like, you know, I'm against homosexuals of low moral value and communists and race mixing thing. I think that that's what those guys want to say. Like they just have like their new version that sounds slightly better than that about preserving their white culture, but that's what it is. Like that's the seed of that entire thing is that dude right there, you know?
For sure. Heaven, is it still racist in 2025?
Absolutely. Has progress been made? Some has, but clearly not enough. Clearly not enough. That was 1987. I was a year old. And now I'm sitting here and what did I say even last week? There was 4 or now 5 lynchings in a week that were labeled suicides? Immediately labeled as suicide. Bullshit. No. It is bold face, fascist, Nazi, white supremacist behavior that was never, ever stomped out from the beginning, that has been running under the underbelly of America for a long time. And as we progress and we push and women push and the Black community pushes and we get this and that and the LGBTQIA community pushed, now they're like, oh, that's too far. And now they're rearing their ugly heads.
For sure.
And it is enraging from my view.
We got a comedian here tonight, so I want to end on a light note. So racism, you know, you guys shouldn't be done because a girl just retired from OnlyFans from being with a black guy, Shannon Sharp.
He called Black women gold diggers. He told his own children, that he should be the last option that they are able to call whenever they need help. He didn't even want to pay for his own, I believe it was his daughter's wedding. He was a willing participant. He was a willing participant in every single thing that he did, and I don't feel sorry for him. The universe sent him signs. Cat Williams tried to warn him. He said it takes 2 weekends. Monique tried to warn him that him now, at the age of 57, shouldn't be messing with a girl that is, 36 years younger than him? And he didn't listen. And he kept it going. And now he has lost his entire football career, basically because him and that girl had to settle for $23 million. His whole football career, he only made 22. So she got his entire Hall of Fame football career within, plus $1 million, within just a few short months.
So Jared, that girl was an OnlyFans model. As soon as she got the settlement, she put out a statement and said, "Hey, I'm retired." I mean, how do you feel about that?
I mean, you know, the rise of the OnlyFans model has really bummed me out because it's kind of like, you know, I have this theory about like the billionaire class are just trying to make us all desperate so that we all do shit like become OnlyFans models, you know? So like we're out there saying like, hey, can we have universal health care? Could you please give us some benefits at our job? Can you please raise our wages? And the billionaires are like, I mean, you could do porn in your house if you want on your phone. Like that's the best I could give you, I think, you know. I don't know. I don't know who these people are. I don't know who that football dude was or what that girl was or anything like that. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't think that girl was doing OnlyFans for the art of it. You know, I think she was there to make the money. She made the money, and now she's not doing it anymore. So yeah, you know, she took the payout. What are you gonna do?
For sure. Heaven, do you feel like a girl ruins her reputation, or if you get the bag like that, it was a smart move?
What did she do to get, like, what did he do to have to settle with her for that much money?
Yeah, SA, she was his side chick, basically. Like, You know, somewhat was consensual, but she said it wasn't consensual at times. But basically, he was her sugar daddy.
That sounds like a setup. And I'm not coming for the victim. I'm not victim blaming because I am one. Have been. But that don't sound right.
I feel you. Doc, you seem to know a lot about the case. What you think?
Man, I think the same thing Dave Chappelle think. Should have never gave you niggas money. Shannon Sharp is a country nigga from the middle of nowhere, Georgia. He never had running water in the house he grew up in. He said he had to use the bathroom outside. He used to have to go pick fruit and tobacco and stuff like that. You work your whole life to get money and you throw it away because you just that horny, bro. Like, it ain't no way you that horny. You picking up the 19. He met the chick when she was 19 at the gym. Bro, you Shannon Sharp. Go get you a little 35-year-old, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like something. Like, he was dead wrong. He shouldn't have been messing with no girl that's 19. Do I think it should cost him $23 million? Probably not. But when you go look at the stuff he texting her and the weird shit, she like, yeah, I want you to put one of those big old black babies in me. Like, they like having racial connotations with the sex. Like, he weird. So when you do weird, outlandish shit like this, you know what I'm saying? You gonna get, you know, the what happens with that. So he was out here acting.
Is he on the Epstein list? Is Shannon Sharp on the Epstein list? Just
no.
A question.
Nah,
I just had to throw that one out there. We haven't got that yet. We haven't
Shannon
got
Sharp
that
right
yet.
over the edge.
Just asking.
Shannon like him legal now. He like him legal. Don't do Shannon like that. Now.
Barely,
like him legal.
Clearly,
legal is legal.
He was accused of being gay before this, and so like he put out like a video where it sounded like he was having relations with a girl because people would call him gay. It was a video a picture of him where they said that he looked feminine. So he's been through a whole bunch. Jamar, I don't know if you're a Shannon Sharp fan. What you gonna say, Doc?
Yeah, Shannon did look gay, bro. Shannon had that Lululemon on, bro. You could have seen how much change he had in his pocket, bro. Hey, he needed.
Is he friends with Diddy?
Yo, Shannon was wild, bro.
He just like Go ahead, Jamar.
No, I think I it's my opinion. It just boils down to respect for women. When you get the money, but if you got money and you respect women, you still not gonna play like that. It's just a matter of they get that, you know, they get the money, they get the power, and they never really have respect for women anyway. So they find the ones that they can manipulate into doing weird shit. And now you got to pay for it. You know what I mean? So a lot of them, when they said it about Diddy, it was about power. It was about being able to control people. You don't have respect for people and you don't have respect for women. The money just bring out the real person. You was that person the whole time. The money just bring you out. So if he got to pay her, he got to pay her. I'm all right with it.
For sure. Well, we had two great guests tonight, Jared and Jamar. Jared, I'm gonna go to you first. Let us know your final thoughts and let us know what you thought of the Man Cave.
Thanks for having me. Just about that whites only town. We learn about genetic diversity in biology, and they're the more generations that just keep on inbreeding in that one community, the worse they're all gonna be. So it's bad for everybody, But yeah, thanks for having me. Check out my shit at jaredprinceton.com, and have a good week, everybody.
For sure. Jamar, thank you for coming. Let us know your final thoughts on what you thought of the Man Cave.
First, thanks for having me on. It was real cool vibing with everybody. It was a good vibe. And as far as that white only town, I don't even know why it's news. I just don't think we should even be talking about it. Like, it's like the brother Doc said, in about a couple of years, we're going to have a situation where the FBI going to be running in there. They're going to have a whole documentary about it. But thanks for having me on.
For sure. Absolutely. Doc, what's your final thoughts?
It's like, it's crazy for people to still be trying to live in hate and disagreement these days. A bar fight is a bar fight. It happens all the time. You can't blame the bar. I mean, bartenders are running around so much that like they might not notice somebody. Like those guys didn't seem that intoxicated. They weren't falling over. They were just some stupid dudes who got drunk and got into a fight. The whites only town. I mean, I had to go look into it more, but I think you know, you putting yourself in a box, and you're gonna need resources and a lot of this stuff, and it just seems like a bad idea. And you know, everybody be safe. If you're visiting somewhere in some of these areas, just make sure you be safe and you planning your routes and you doing your due diligence, because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now. So you don't want to find yourself out here, you know, in a bad position.
For sure. Heaven, what's your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. The world is on fire, and we can't be going back and forth on race and this and that. We need to pay attention to the things, because if we don't have a planet, it doesn't really matter. Thanks for coming, and thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the chat. Have a good night.
If you're watching right now, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Know when we go live. My final thoughts are: thank you, Jared and Jamar, for coming. It was great having you guys. You guys were great guests. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about Gaza. We do this every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Keep rocking with us. Man Cave. Have a good night.